2020, so I finally got the Evermedia uh, Gamer Evermedia Live Gamer Pro to work. So I've had problems. You see, I have first of all, in 2021 when I bought it for the Windows 7 computer, I bought an older version of it that still worked on Windows 7 because I had a Windows 7 Ultimate back then. A computer that is now updated to Windows 10 Pro since March 7th, I believe, 2025. And back in 2021, I could easily stream the PlayStation 4 by simply plugging in the HDMI cable. But for some reason, the PlayStation 3 didn't work because it was copyright protected. The creators of the console didn't want people to record movies, Blu-ray movies, because it's a Blu-ray player and a console, and so they prevented. They put security into the cables, so when you use a HDMI cable and connect it to the Evermedia Pro, then you get an error message that it is copyrighted, and in order to get around that, I had to get another device named a HDMI splitter, which splits the stream into two cables, one that goes into the TV and the other into the Evermedia Gamer Pro tool. Okay, then it worked, but I've had problems because recently even the PlayStation 4 is copyright protected, so one of the updates have caused it to be copyright protected too. So I need to use the splitter for the PlayStation 4 as well. In 2021 you didn't need a splitter for the PlayStation 4, only for the PlayStation 3. But now you need a splitter for both for some reason. Probably due to an update where they've added the same security. But anyway, because they don't want people to stream, for example, Netflix movies. But as I'm only streaming games that I own, it shouldn't be a problem. But in some games they have like scenes that you can't record for some reason. I have no idea why. In modern games, like new games, I can see why they don't want YouTubers to stream a game, for example a role-playing game. They don't want me as a player to stream a brand new role-playing game and spoil the story for people that haven't played it before. But if it's an older game, or if it's a fighting game like Mortal Kombat, then I don't believe there should be any problems. But still there are some scenes that are not available when you record through the PlayStation 4's own recorder. There is a recorder in the PlayStation 4. You can stream the game through the PlayStation 4 to both Twitch and YouTube, but the quality is much worse. It's at 720p instead of 1080p, and as I'm using the XSplit broadcaster, I can increase the resolution to 1400 or so when recording through the computer. If I do it on the PlayStation 4, it's only 720, so it's way worse. It looks like a much older game because of the bad resolution, and the problem is that they have added the same copyright to the PlayStation 4 now, so I need a splitter for both. But I had a splitter, so that wasn't the main problem. The main problem instead is that I had no sound. I had a picture, but I had no sound, and it was driving me nuts. But I finally managed to solve it. So we're gonna play a bunch of games. Now I have a lot of games for both the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 3 and the computer that I still haven't played, and also we have older games for older consoles that I want to play on emulators, like the PlayStation Portable. I do own, by the way, 2 PlayStation Portable, so I do own that console as well, the handheld console, and I have quite a few games on it. But anyway, we are gonna tried to finish some games, and on the PlayStation 4 we have Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 10. And I still have to finish both stories. I finished Mortal Kombat 9 story in the past. I think we'll start with it. I had started doing that story a few years ago in 2021. But now let's just do some fights. We have the AI fight. The AI. So in this game, if you have networking on, if you have online access, you can select a team of your favorite characters, 3 of them. And then you can place them as defenders, and then other players can select them as opponents for their characters, and can then watch the AI fight between their characters and the defenders' characters. So if we make a defending team here, others will be able to fight us, and the AI will control both teams, but we can also attack their teams and watch fights. It's a shame they didn't include this for offline. So you need internet for it to work. I mean, I enjoy with fighting games, all the fighting games, to watch the AI fight the AIs. I don't have to fight myself. But in Mortal Kombat I'm actually pretty decent, but in most of the fighting games I suck. So I prefer just unlocking the characters and watching the AI fight. But yeah, in Mortal Kombat they have an AI versus AI in Mortal Kombat 11, but sadly it requires online connection, internet connection, because you are attacking other players' characters. So we'll pick someone here, we'll pick these guys. So we have these characters to choose from. So let's see, my favorite team. We still do not have Frost. That's a character I still need to buy. It's a female character, I believe. But anyway, we have the other characters. I bought Rambo, Rain, and Rambo, a bonus character, and Rain, and another one, Melina, yesterday actually. They were new for me. Everyone else I bought already in 2020 or 2021. Most of them in 2020 for sure. Jhonny Cage, we'll pick him, and we'll pick Sonya Blade. Sadly she's older in this game, so we'll pick her old school look where she looks a little bit younger. And her daughter can also be a Harley Quinn look-alike, but we'll pick a normal one. Confirm attacking team section and fight, yes. Now we'll see how it will go. Mortal Kombat 11 is much better looking than Mortal Kombat 10. Mortal Kombat 10 looks exactly like Mortal Kombat 9 in terms of graphics, but with less sexy female characters and with more advanced like features. But Mortal Kombat 11 is much better. It looks like a completely different game, because in Mortal Kombat 9 and 10, I believe the difference between 10 and 9, besides the female characters, that they're sexier in 9 for the PlayStation 3, was that in 10 you could interact with the stage, but in 9 you had a background that couldn't be interacted with. And in 11 I believe there are more changes, like you can there are a lot of it looks more impressive, if I put it that way. There are fatalities like these in all 3 games, but in this game you can't just I believe you cannot just interact with the stage, but you can also in more impressive ways fight other characters. I believe the camera zooms in more in a more impressive way. It just looks better in every way. The only thing that is better in 9 is the female models. They are the best in the PlayStation 3 game, where Sonya Blade is young and also super fit. the female characters look the best in the 9th title. But the 10th title is better in terms of gameplay, and as for the 11th title, I believe it's the best one, but the female characters are still not as good as in the good looking as in the 9th title. But everything else is better in this title for sure. I haven't played Mortal Kombat 1, by the way, the new one. It's probably for PlayStation 5 only. And I do not have a PlayStation 5 yet. I plan on buying one because I want that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero game, which is pretty much a modern new version of Dragon Ball Z with the PlayStation 3. So I'm very interested in that game, but I can't play it without the PlayStation 3. I mean PlayStation 5, sorry. I need a PlayStation 5 first before I can play it. So I will buy one soon, in a month or so. I also need a Nintendo Switch, because I wanted a Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate game for a long time. Haven't been able to play it because I don't have a Switch. As a kid I had Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo 64. I got it at my 10th birthday in 1999, and it's one of my favorite games for sure. I also finished it, and I finished Melee for the GameCube and finished Brawl for the Nintendo Wii. I haven't played any of the others, but I did. I kind of played a little bit in the Nintendo Wii U game, but I didn't. I didn't own the games. I only fought some battles in it. At a school. I believe a classmate. We lived in we lived next to the school essentially, and one of the people there had a Wii U with Super Smash Brothers that we played a little bit, but so I tried playing as Cloud on that version, but yeah, I have never played Ultimate, and the Wii U title I played a little bit as Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, was the main character. Alright, I want the Switch, Nintendo Switch console and the Smash Brothers Ultimate title, because it has a huge amount of characters, and many of them were characters I really wanted when I was a kid, you know. I remember speaking to friends about how I would have wanted a Smash Brothers game with, for example, King K. Rool from Donkey Kong Country, or Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, or Mewtwo. But Mewtwo, we did get Mewtwo in Melee back in 2002, I believe, for the GameCube. But we never got Sephiroth or King K. Rool or many of the others until the latest title for the Nintendo Switch, which I've never owned and never played. So it would be a cool title. Alright, now I missed totally who won that battle, but as we saw, because I didn't look at the screen too much. But yeah, there were some cool battles. Let's fight another battle just because I missed. I focused on other stuff.
AI battle. Fight.
Pick other opponents. Let's see, we'll pick these guys.
Jhonny Cage.
No, I don't want
Sonya.
that version. No. I don't want him. No. Yes.
Jhonny Cage.
Alright, we'll try again.
Sonya. Cassie Cage. Cassie Cage.
Alright. my ever media gamer pro whatever. It works now finally. Good. I spent all of yesterday installing new games on the PlayStation 4 that I bought, and I also updated with a lot of downloadable content for the older games that I already own. So for example Mortal Kombat XI here that I bought in 2020 got updated with 3 new characters. Then there were some other games that I had already bought that got some new stuff too. And then I bought a bunch of new games. They were cheap, they were deals, like they were very cheap, like 80% cheaper than normal, in some cases 90%, 50%, 65%, 75%, etc. So they were all cheaper than they would be normally. I bought all the games that I felt like I wanted. I hadn't bought PlayStation 4 games since I believe I bought one game in 2021 in March. Then I bought quite a few games and add-ons in 2020. I hadn't bought PlayStation 4 games in at least 4 years. Yeah, 4 years since the last game. Oh, he's killing Jhonny Cage here. He was my favorite character in that movie from the 90s. He's gonna finish him brutally. No, he might do something nicer. Friendship. Sucks that I added friendships. No one wants to see this. I prefer if they only had like fatalities. It's fun seeing how they kill each other. Anyway, they are good characters. That's probably why they picked the friendship. It's not as fun to watch. Sonya Blade in her classic outfit. She looks a bit younger here than the other version, but still, if you compare her with the Mortal Kombat 9 version, first of all in Mortal Kombat 9 her boobs were super big, like Tifa in Final Fantasy VII, the original game, super big, not so big as it's unnatural, but the biggest you can get while still looking natural. And because I don't like when they are too big, you know, when they are so big that it looks unnatural. But I do like when they are big, just not too big. And then the Tifa's boobs I think wasn't too big. I think that's about how to have the maximum size essentially that is acceptable. If they go beyond that, it's too much. There is such a thing as too big, you know, or unnatural. As long as it looks natural, it's fine. If it doesn't look natural, it's not good. Alright, but also her face looks way better in that game. She looks a little bit less beautiful in the face here. But she still looks young here compared to the other version of her. She is still young here, but compared to Mortal Kombat 9 she looks less sexy. Yeah, but she's still pretty sexy here. But if you pick the other version of her, because this one was DLC that I bought, I believe in 2020. If you pick the one that follows with the game, she looks like a 50-year-old or something. So you needed to buy that DLC to get the young look. Of course, no one wants to look at an old character. This is Cassie Cage, her daughter. She ended up looking older, but that's because you played as the classic version of Sonya Blade, which is her when she was young. In Mortal Kombat 11, I believe Cassie Cage is the daughter of Jhonny Cage and Sonya Blade, and 3 years in the age of Sonya Blade in the first Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat, I mean, Sonya Blade is kind of old in this title. Maybe it was Mortal Kombat X actually, when she was a little bit older, and Cassie Cage arrived. In this one she is really old, like 60 or something. So you needed a DLC to get a good looking Sonya Blade in this game. I'm a fan of playing as the babes in games. I've always done it since I was a teen, if not earlier. And I'm not a fan of playing as old grandmas. The point of playing as a babe is that they are babes. If they are old, it ruins the whole point.
This is why I am champion.
Liu Kang wins.
Oh, so we lost. Cassie Cage got destroyed. Right.
AI battle.
Can do some cool AI battles. We'll do my some of my favorite movie characters, because this game, weirdly enough, had some really cool movie characters that I loved when I was a kid. It's like they added a lot of old school characters to it that I was a huge fan of growing up. I mean, characters like Spawn, for example. Can hardly see him because of that select attacking team menu. We have also RoboCop, for example. I was obsessed with RoboCop and Spawn at different points during my childhood, I believe. When I was 10 something, I was obsessed with RoboCop. Pokemon too, but RoboCop I think was... I don't remember exactly when, but around the same time, I believe. And then Spawn a bit earlier in the late 90s. I believe I wasn't allowed to read Spawn because I was raised in a Christian family, and they read that he was he was fighting for the devil and stuff like that. They banned the comic, but I did own one or two comics. I believe my parents threw away one of them, then the other one I managed to hid from them. But I remember I read most of the comics out at that time because a classmate had them and brought them to school. Yeah, I was kind of a huge fan of Spawn, who by the way is a black man in his past, but was killed, and then he's reincarnated by entering a deal with the devil in exchange for being allowed to return to life. He to meet his I believe he wanted to meet his wife or so again, and in exchange for that he offered to serve the devil or something. But anyway, he's a good character, and he will turn on the devil at a later stage and fight the demons and kill the demons and probably kill the devil himself. But in the beginning he enters the deal with the devil to do his bidding, essentially. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, he used to be a black man when he was a human before he was killed. So yeah, and yeah, he is an interesting character. We also have characters like Rambo and the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I liked Terminator 2 especially, but also the first movie. I watched the third movie as well, but I didn't like it as much. Watched it in the cinema, and then I watched the one with what is his name? The one with Christian Bale, I believe. I liked that movie, the war movie, but it was supposed to have 3 movies. It only became 1 because it it flopped probably. But I like the movie. It's a shame it didn't continue. Okay, let's pick RoboCop. Okay, RoboCop, and we can only pick one of the same character. And we'll pick Terminator. We don't want to be old Terminator, we will be young Terminator. And after that we can pick the Spawn character. Prefer him with his original look. Yes. And now we will just watch the fight, see how it will go. So this game, Mortal Kombat 11, is from 2020. So it's 5 years old now. And I still haven't finished it.
Round 1, fight.
It's one of my most recent games. More recent than probably all my computer games. The other games, only the PlayStation 4 games are more recent. I have some PS4 games bought yesterday that are more recent. Otherwise I believe that all the other games I have are older. This is fighting Scorpion, I think. Could be wrong. Oh shit. Looks like RoboCop is being defeated. Yeah. He was destroyed. The first round. There is a second round too.
Fight.
Alright. Might just need the microphone a bit. Alright. So it's always a problem with the microphone to get it to be at the right position from the mouth. It's always too far away or too close. It's very difficult in my opinion to put it in the right spot. Alright. Seems RoboCop won the battle. Maybe we'll see. But that was the second round, this is the third round then. Final round, okay. RoboCop 1 is one of my most one of my all-time favorite movies. It's a very good movie. I recommend everyone to watch it. The first movie from 1987. And then RoboCop 2, I recommend that movie as well. It's not as good as the first, but if you like the action, you will love it. Because it has even more action. And it's more brutal, I believe, for the most part. It enhanced the movie in terms of more action, more brutality, more gore, etc. etc. I think if you like that part of RoboCop 1, you will love it. But if you love the more heroic parts of RoboCop 1, where RoboCop is more like a hero, and if you liked the more light-hearted scenes and comedy and fun parts of the first movie, then you won't like the second, because all of that is essentially cut. It had only the action of the first movie, but it didn't have the fun parts of it, the comedic parts and such. It was much darker, much more serious, and less fun, if you will. And that is what that's what made it worse. It's a great movie, but it's worse than the first movie. But the third movie was worse than the second movie, because it wasn't even a good movie. I liked it as a kid, but But the problem was that they made it PG-13 or for kids, and if you like the first two movies as a kid because they were brutal and adult, then you won't like the third movie as much because it's like a nerfed down version where they didn't do as much stuff. I believe the second one was a step up from the first in terms of brutality and gore, and that's why it received so much critique from parents that the third one was made for kids and made child friendly. So it became, if the second one had too much violence, then the third one had too little. So yeah, the third one is okay, but it's not great, and it's not as good as any of the other two. All right, so I've been awake the entire night, so I'm a little bit off in my speaking. But anyway, I'm a bit tired, but yeah, it's great that I can finally record everything now on the computer and console. Perfect. Alright, but thank you for watching, and see you in another video. Bye.
Round 1.